Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. And over the last several days, I've made this design in my math guru. Threw some math in it. It's going to help a little bit. Help quite a bit in some ways. If you didn't follow along, we were rotating this at a 15 degree. So let's do that. Let's Control D and make a duplicate. Move the center rotation to the center and rotate it 15 degrees. We have this line at a bump. His suggestion would be to take a 2-point line. Hopefully I understood him correctly because it worked. And we're going to rotate that line, and it rotates from the center 7.5 degrees. And what that did, that put it right in the middle, and we can take this and delete it. Now, let's take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. Let's nudge that out of the way for a second. Let's left click, right click, and let's Control D it. I don't know how that happened. Control D, make a duplicate, and mirror it, and you see the difference that we've done. So we need to basically do the same thing on the other side, but we need to get rid of these parts. So let's take this and just delete it. And this is what's nice about the nudge tool. You can nudge it right back. Remember, I had a duplicate. We don't really need those. Now let's Control D and duplicate it. Double click on it and get the center rotation. Make it to the center. Doesn't look like it is, but it is. Somehow we're at, I'm gonna go up in a 360 degrees. Somehow we're a little bit off. That shouldn't affect it. Rotate it a negative 15 degrees. Take this line and mirror it. We got the same thing. Take your Smart Fill tool and fill in this shape. Now nudge that out of the way. Get rid of all this. Nudge this back. Left click, right click. Control D and make a duplicate. Move the center rotation to the center. Rotate it 15 degrees and see what we look like. We got good, but we have a little hump there. We don't want that hump. So what I'm going to do is cut out this line, hold down my Shift key and select both those, and select them both, go to Windows, Dockers, Join Curves, and it joined them together. Now I'm going to get rid of those two nodes. And that gives me that rounded shape. Now, I don't know really where to go from here, but we're going to take a 2-point line and rotate it 7.5 degrees. Take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in and nudge it over. Now we should be able to mirror it and make it equal on both sides. If we don't, we'll have to do the same thing. Control D and make a duplicate and mirror it. And we're off just a hair, but we can cut that line out and that line out. We don't really have to cut out the outside one. Let's look at the other side. We're gonna say don't have to cut that out, but I would cut this out. Now take the Smart Fill tool. Let's get rid of all this stuff. And we're gonna nudge that back over. Now what's good about this also, I didn't Smart Fill it. Let's nudge it over. Left click, right click. What is also good about this way, well, really a way, is to take the Shape tool and select those nodes, right click, break them apart, take those, right click, break them apart. Now we can get rid of this line. I got rid of my circle. I knew that would happen. let's take our ellipse and just nudge it down. Take the virtual segment delete and you just pick it. But now what we did is got rid of those lines. Control D and make a duplicate. And you could also use the transformation docker on this. But unless you have it open, you might as well just use Control D. We'll rotate it 15 degrees. So what we did, we got rid of those lines that we had to cut out before. And my hand hit something on the keyboard. So if that ever happens, just Control D and add 15 degrees or 120. And then it'll just keep going around. Sometimes I hit something on my laptop. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy so it won't interfere. But I stopped my progression, so I've got to go 315. Now, we've got rid of all those interior lines, and we should not have a leak. But just in case we do, we're going to take a rectangle and build it around our bot, take the Smart Fill tool, and voila, no leaks. Good pattern, pretty fast. Get rid of all that. Hit that in the center. Don't hit delete. Hit it in the P for center of the page. And you've got a lot faster, pretty cool. And you see our swoop is good. With all kinds of joins in. This would be a pretty cool thing to do things with. I like playing, so Control D and make a duplicate. Hold down the Shift key so it'll grow from the inside. Control D. And if you ever notice that, Corel will do the equal amount. And then you could add some color to this. And I'm just playing now, but if you wanted some yellow, you could fill all this in with yellow. You could fill the other in with red. You could fill the other in with a green. And then you could go through and fill each pattern in with a different color. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.